this is Mr. Everything. I'm coming at you with another Wargaming and miniature video. But not only is it a Wargaming and miniature video, it's also it's also role-playing. It's also D&D. It's also just a peripheral. This video covers a lot of boxes, right? It ticks a lot of boxes. But I'm going to call it a Wargaming and miniature video, even though I'm really doing it for my D&D game. What we're doing today, and I'm not going to be able to finish it today. I only have about half the parts to be able to do this. Let me go ahead and move the camera out of my way. All right, so I was able to pick up a Chromebook. This is a little laptop, uses Google Chrome as the operating system. It's not Windows, it's not Mac. It's Chrome, so it runs an app that I'm using, an online website basically, to project a map onto a monitor. I'm going to set this off to the side just for a second. All right, I have an HDMI cable here. Okay, and I've got some lumber here. I don't think this is going to be the proper size or amount that I'm going to need for this project. That's something that I'm going to need to probably pick up in the next week or so. All right, and this project is my digital gaming table project. If you come to my channel, you've watched me paint miniatures as projects, build terrain, come up with scenarios, and all kinds of like that. Well, this is going to be a digital gaming table. And I'm using a 40-inch Sharp TV. Let's open that up. Once my cleaning solution dries, all these streaks will disappear, hopefully. And this is laying pretty flat on the table. I might not even need a bracket. Okay, but what I was planning on doing was using, what are these, 1x4s? I was going to use 1x4s to mount along the side of the TV. You see how that is? And then I can mount on all four sides, except for maybe that side. And also, okay, see, that doesn't stick up high enough, I don't think. The TV is going to be elevated up because I want there to be room underneath the TV. I might just leave this side open because it looks like that's where all the venting is at, right? Okay, and that's also where the button is. I think I might leave this side open and only build 4 sides. Is this long enough? Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I might even be able to just build... No, that's going to cover up all the vents, and I don't want to do that. I'm visualizing right now. Okay. Because what I'm planning on doing is taking a sheet of plastic, right? It still has a film on it, so it looks kind of like smoky, but I've peeled off a couple of the edges, and here I can even kind of show you. I don't know if you can see that, but that's crystal clear. That's super crystal clear. So when I lay it, I know it's way too long. I already knew this, but this was 2x3, 2x4, something like that. Yeah, it's going to cover, and that's why I wanted to put a piece of wood here as well, because what I'm going to do is, I guess I could do that. I could drill a bunch of holes in this to give it some air circulation. But yeah, but temporarily, probably this week, because I won't have the frame built. And I think 1x4s might just be not enough. Because I was wanting to put something like this underneath the two of these, which I could cut in half. That's no problem. I was going to screw them into the Visa mount that's on the back of the TV to give it a little extra lift, and it'll let air circulate, and it won't pinch the cable. The cable will be elevated by, or the TV will be elevated by the wood, so it won't be pressed up against this cable. So that's kind of my project. All right, so I've got my Chromebook hooked up with HDMI to the monitor, right? And looks like battery's almost dead. We're gonna have to charge it. That's okay. But what I'm using is Roll20. So let's go to Chrome on this, right? And then I can type in Roll20. I can log in as a player, right? You can launch the game. I'll also need to log in as the game master as well, but that's not what we're dealing with right now. We're just going to log in as the player. So now all I do is drag this window. Okay, let's bring this window down. There we go. And then I just drag this window onto my map here, right? I'm using my mouse pointer sideways, so I gotta get used to it. Since we're not playing online, I don't need a chat bar or anything because the players are all sitting around the table. And there is part of the dungeon map that we're actually using. Now the scale is too big. These squares are bigger than an inch. Like here's one of my fighter types that are is in the campaign. Big. Once I figure out what the scale is I want to use, probably right there. We'll leave that alone. So now we can use our miniatures directly on the table. Okay, something happened to my camera on the screen, so I don't know exactly what happened, but there was a couple of settings that I changed. I went in and changed them back just to make sure, because it had been working perfectly up until just a few minutes ago. So there, yeah, you can see the digital, and once I get it all built and assembled, you'll be able to see it even better. I might not do it vertical like this because it's a little hard to do the mouse sideways like that. I might do it like this. Let's get this out of the way. This actually, the Sharp TV is actually lighter than that laptop. Okay, we'll make sure the cabling's all in the right spot. But yeah, that doesn't take up too much space, right? And it looks good. And now, one of the questions I had about this Sharp TV, because I did this video, or I did this experiment using one of my computer monitors, and when sitting at the table on either side looking sideways at the TV or the monitor, you couldn't see the map. You had to kind of stand up and look down on it, where this TV is advertised as having 180 or something like that. Not 180, like 174 degree viewing angle. So I should be able to look at it from the side and see the map, right? So we're going to test that. If I'm sitting, yeah, I can see the map. Yeah, it looks good. It looks actually fairly clear, except for these smudges I'm going to have to clean off. This is not 170. I would say here I'm struggling to see the lines. I can see the map, but I can't see the lines. We're right about here, which is about 10 inches over the TV. I can definitely see the lines. And then even higher is even better. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it this way. if I was the player that was sitting at the far end of the table, you know, if I put it directly in the middle of the table, the player all the way over here, yeah, for sure, definitely, I can see it. Now, if I was the, now here's the other question. I have 3 players per side of the table. The other guy would be sitting right about here. Oh yeah, even from the bottom, you can see the TV. That sharp is actually pretty sharp. All right, guys, so that was just a heads up, a preamble of what I'm planning on doing. I'm still going to build it. It's going to take a minute to do that. I'm going to put some walls on it to support the plexiglass. When I put the plexiglass down, I'm going to screw it into the wood so that it doesn't droop into the center, even though it probably can. It's not going to hurt anything. The reason why I got the plexiglass was because I didn't want to move miniatures on the screen, scratching the screen up. And if the air vents are right here, I think it's okay. I think I could just elevate it a hair and we'll be fine. I could put like little cushions, like little felt pieces along the outer edge here. You know, just make some felt edges and just put the plexiglass on there and leave it because, and then not worry about the sides. I don't know. We'll figure it out over the next few days. I'm going to do some math. We'll do some work and we'll figure this out. But yeah, it's a lot easier to figure out how to move this map. Yeah. See that? Yeah, and they've been adventuring. There's like a pit that I drew on there. I don't know if you can see that, but I don't know if you're a D&D player, if you recognize that dungeon or not, but this is part of the Sunless Citadel. And yeah, so you can position your miniatures on a digital tabletop. In the past, I had been printing out maps, blowing them up and printing them out, and it's been taking a lot of paper. This is paperless, and it's taken a lot of ink, you know, and I had to glue them or tape them. Actually, I was taping them together. The whole map would take up the entire table. It won't take up the entire table because I can take this and scroll with it. All right, guys, thanks for coming out and checking this video out. Keep your eyes open. I'll be doing more of these videos as the construction progresses. All right, I'll catch you next time.